Every second that blinks past feels like another storm inside your head. A never-ending flood of emails, meetings, calls, pitches, decisions that don't wait. People who expect your next big move yesterday. The world doesn't stop for you. It never has. For the founder, the investor, the leader who carries the weight of building something real, something that lasts, this isn't just stress, it's survival. Every distraction, every glance down at the phone, every ping from the calendar is a pull away from what actually matters. It's brutal. It's relentless. And deep down, you know this. The noise is where dreams slowly go to die. You're drowning in chaos, yet you're expected to swim faster, to hustle harder, to push beyond limits that are already fraying your edges. The irony? The more you fight the noise, the louder it gets. Your mind fractures, creativity slips, inspiration flees. What if the very edge, the razor's tip where your brilliance lives, isn't found in chaos but in something terrifyingly simple? Silence. Not the silence of empty time or shameful boredom, but the silence of deliberate scheduling. The silence that top founders are weaponizing every single day. Why? Because inside that quiet lies a secret the system doesn't want you to know. Clarity, freedom, power. Imagine a sanctuary. Not a place, not a fancy office or a faraway retreat, but a pocket of sacred stillness carved out in your day. Here you refuse to answer calls. You shut the emails down. You block out the relentless noise that constantly pulls you apart. This silence is a radical act. It's a rebellion against the nonstop command to perform on demand. It's the ultimate refusal to be a servant of distraction. This is not weakness. It is your greatest strength. In moments like this, you're disconnected not from your work, but from the swirling storm that tries to hijack your attention. This is when your true self surfaces, unshackled by urgency and superficiality. All the clutter fades, and suddenly, you are present in what really counts: vision, strategy, creativity, problem solving. The quiet becomes a mirror reflecting not the chaos you've been swimming through, but the raw power you've been ignoring. The power to reset, to rethink, to rebuild from a place of groundedness. It's brutal how misunderstood this is. The world insists greatness comes from relentless action, from grinding gears nonstop until exhaustion hits. Yet every founder burning out fast knows the truth deep inside. Without pause, brilliance dims. Without reflection, progress stumbles. Without silence, the mind goes deaf to what it truly needs to hear. Silence schedules space for the ideas that shout louder than the noise, the innovations that shape industries, the insights that pivot entire markets, the clarity that cuts through complexity like a laser. This is your invitation to stop running from silence and instead schedule it like a sacred appointment. Guard it with the same ferocity that you hold your meetings or investor calls. Protect it because it is your lifeline, the moment when your mind can wander wide enough to find solutions no spreadsheet or boardroom ever will. It's when you confront your fears without distraction, when you connect dots no one else sees, when you remember who you're doing this all for, not just to survive, but to become. Don't underestimate how this shifts everything. Top founders aren't just scheduling silence to rest, they're using it as a forge. They turn that stillness into a weapon. It's where they test their true selves against the noise of conventional thinking, where they separate their pulse from the pulse of the herd. Silence becomes the moment they peel away all imposed definitions and step into raw, unfiltered sovereignty over their own minds. It's where they become untouchable by the chaos, untethered to the machinery of false promises. And here's the brutal truth. The system you've inherited was never built for you. It was built to process, to fit, to homogenize, to make sure that only a certain kind of worker survives, a certain kind of dream survives. But you're not here to fit. You're not here to comply. You are here to break molds, tear down fences, and remake what legacy and success even mean. The silence you schedule is your rebellion against a world that wants you busy but broken, loud but lost. The rare power of silence is that it aligns you with what's real. The real problems, the raw potential, the unfiltered vision that no amount of noise can drown out. It fuels a new kind of leadership, one that doesn't bend to every demand but questions relentlessly. One that doesn't chase every trend but chooses what deserves attention like a laser-guided missile. Silence makes your mind ruthless, removing excuses, distractions, and compromise. In that absence of noise, you find what can't be optimized or replaced, a kind of inner wisdom that knows, without needing constant validation, what to build and whom to become. It's easy to think you don't have time for this. After all, chaos fills every waking moment. But that's exactly why you must grant yourself this space. Not for comfort, not for escape, but because without it, your potential slowly suffocates beneath the weight of endless demand. Scheduling silence is an act of war against distraction and conformity. It's the battlefield where the true future of your vision is fought and won. Now, imagine a life where this practice is sacred, non-negotiable, where every day is punctuated by moments of quiet that sharpen your mind and fuel your fire, where your calendar isn't just an endless list of tasks but a blueprint for your own freedom, where silence stops being an afterthought or a guilty pleasure and starts being the foundation of your greatness. Don't fool yourself. This is no luxury. This is survival for the exceptional. The few who understand that the fire inside them can only blaze brightest when fed by stillness, reflection, and fierce intentionality. Those who choose silence become the architects of their own realities. They stop living borrowed lives defined by the noise of others and start writing their own raw, unfiltered existence on their own terms. Silence is not emptiness. It is everything. It's where the future comes alive. It's a flame for the few who refuse to settle for easy answers and cheap victories. It's the moment when you shed everything the system taught you to be and step into what you were always meant to become: a creator, a leader, a force that doesn't just play the game but changes it entirely. So, stop apologizing for the silence you crave. Schedule it. Protect it. Cultivate it like your most valuable asset. In that silence, find your allies, your deepest insights, your rawest courage, your clearest direction. This is the quiet revolution. It's where founders, investors, visionaries who dare to burn rather than bend, who refuse to live borrowed lives, come alive. It's not just time off. It's time freed, the first step out of the cage built by convenience and conformity into a world where only volume and speed once mattered. Silence speeds you up in the way noise never can, because it aligns you with your true mission, sharpens your will to an edge no one can dull, and connects you to the rare network of minds and hearts that don't settle for less. This is your call. The world that demands everything and gives you noise in exchange is broke. Your brilliance doesn't need fixing. It needs space to breathe and be summoned in full force. The silence you schedule is your rebellion, your reset, your resurrection. When you claim it, you step out of the illusion of constant distraction and into a rare kind of power, the power of the liberated individual. Not tied to rules, not bounded by expectation, but sovereign, ruthless, transformative. So right now, set that boundary. Carve that sanctuary. Own your silence like the rare treasure it is, because the future doesn't belong to the loud. It belongs to the ones who dare to sit quietly, think deeply, and then move fiercely. The silence that top founders schedule isn't about slowing down. It's about unleashing. It's about reclaiming your mind, your future, your life. Embrace it. Because everything worth building begins there,